Collider Live on a Wednesday. It's Wednesday, last show until next Tuesday. That's right, we're off next Monday. Deal with it.
Well, says who? I asked Reilly this like 10
The
times.
federal calendar of holidays.
Yeah, but we could celebrate Martin Luther King in person.
Good, but I want to do it at home.
But we can also not.
It's lame of you.
Yeah, well-
I wanted to do a whole show dedicated to him. Who's the real fan?
You can come in and do it. I'll be honoring by watching a lot of the cool specials that are on. I like to watch
That's
and
cool.
learn more, as opposed to just talking about farts and then happening to mention him at one point.
Yeah, that seems realistic to what it would turn into.
Right.
When we found out we only had 25 minutes before our guest came in, Brett was like, oh no, only 25 minutes for fart talk.
Fart Talk, USA.
That's my new show, Fart Talk.
How's everybody doing? Josh Macuga, how you doing?
Fantastic.
I like
Can't
that look.
complain.
Yeah, not
What's
many
that?
people can pull off the majority of the looks that you have. And you can do it.
Thank
That's
you.
true.
I appreciate that.
How are you doing, Grouchy Pants Magoo?
Still got it. I'm not
I know
grouchy.
you're not.
I got that cough thing again. I don't know.
Good, sit right next to Macuga.
No, it's not like, I mean, I got over like this achy, sicky thing. It's just that lingering cough. Like,
It lasts for about a month and a half.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I
What's
have
wrong?
an issue with anybody who won't sit next to somebody who's sick.
That's stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
Why?
have
Why?
a lot of twat takes, remember?
Yeah, why you want to get sick? Again.
It's
Yeah,
not
get
that.
kids.
It's just I don't understand when somebody's sick and everybody's like, oh no. It's like, just get sick, bro. Just get sick.
That's
Why?
the
No,
stupid.
that's
Because that
terrible.
person's already in pain. Like
They
hug
shouldn't
them,
be
give
here.
them love, like
No. Whoa,
show
whoa,
them.
whoa, whoa,
This is
whoa,
why
whoa,
most
whoa.
of the hippie population
Yes.
didn't make it.
No.
It's
This
you're
is a-
hurting.
this is a
I'm not
common-
hurting. I want you to be in the room
The
with me.
Surgeon General
Let
would
me help
recommend
you.
every word that is coming out of your mouth is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Do you
just
not wash
saying.
your hands after
No,
the bathroom?
I always wash my hands. I'm not
Okay.
trying to get sick. I'm just saying that I would rather be here for you than be like make you feel like you have the plague.
Do
You
it
can
on
be
the
here
do
for
it on
him
the phone.
over there.
Yeah,
Not
on the
really.
phone.
Yes.
Hey,
really.
Brett, how are you feeling? I'm still sick. Good. Don't come to work until you feel better.
Stay
Hang up.
home.
Ugh.
Which is why I've always had such a big problem. Like I know there's a lot of people out there that would take advantage
See?
of like
Now,
the
I want
6
you out.
days.
Oh, you just coughed. I want you out.
No, see that's so stupid.
There's a small room with no windows
I
open.
vampire coughed it. I wash my hands
Yeah. And I'm surprised.
excessively.
Yeah.
Like I'm
You have
a
kids,
freak about it.
Because
yeah.
the kids get, you don't understand.
That's the thing.
You
No
don't
one in my- okay.
understand.
It's harder for him than it is for me who would get it.
I will say no one in my family got sick, including my wife.
Yeah.
Who I French kiss. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, we do that. So
Even when you're sick.
sometimes you just can't help it. I don't know. Sometimes you'll just risk it for some Frenching.
Exactly. That's the other thing. If your partner is sick, does not matter.
What-
That
Here's the
real,
thing.
you'll slap around the tongue.
100%.
Ugh.
What
Yeah, I do.
What are you gonna do? Let them feel like
again,
they.
you won't be doing that. I guarantee you, in 2 or 3 years from now, you won't do that.
Well,
you
I mean,
or Amanda
it kinda
will not.
depends on
You-
the level of sickness. The problem with me is that I'm like, what's going on here?
I
was
just
down with the
love it.
sickness.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can just see Cobbster in his room as a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, just going crazy for this song. This has got to be an entrance for some wrestler, right?
I fucking hate this song.
I think it was. Do you really? At one point, you loved it.
Not really.
Really?
'Cause even when like you would go to Angel games, they play this a lot.
That's
Like,
absolutely. They stay
yeah, the
play it
Rally
all
Monkey.
the time.
No, thank you.
That's right.
I kinda
That's
like
what it
it.
is. Cody, the diehard Angel fan, is absolutely right. It's that Rally Monkey, and it pissed me off because they would do it against the Yankees,
Yeah.
and I hate it.
Yeah.
What was I going to say to you? I had something else. Yeah. When you have kids,
Then
I'm
you
telling
don't make out with your wife anymore.
Not when she's sick, and I don't want to get near her because
It's
if those
a
kids get
situation.
it canceled my New York trip cold.
Yeah.
Because both these fucking kids got sick.
Yeah.
And it's like
fine.
done.
Yeah.
And you just it
I just
ruins
don't want to
things.
make somebody feel bad for something that they're. Like, when people come in and they're sick and you're like, stay away from me, put on the SARS mask, sit on the other end of the table.
Oh yeah, you and my wife you used to be able to get along. After this conversation, you're dead to her.
I did
Really?
sit out.
Bummer.
I did sit out that day. Like it was like a Wednesday. I sat out that, and then I gave myself a good recoup time to where it was just the cough,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Well,
you know.
here's the problem is that, like, if you are a working individual, right, and you were on a salary somewhere or whatever, you only have so many sick days, which I think is kind of bonkers to a certain situation, because if you're very sick and you run out of sick days, then you just are getting unpaid for being unhealthy, and it really isn't your fault. Right? Now, there is a majority of the population in this country and probably in the world that would take advantage of unlimited sick days. Right? Like, that's just the situation that we live in, because people always want to get over on somebody. But in this office, there are a few people that come in sick regularly.
It drives
and
me crazy.
Spread disease.
It drives me crazy.
Spread disease
because
like
if they're
Ebola.
doing work, don't you think that they'd rather be home?
Then they should go home, and we tell them to go home.
But then they don't get paid.
It depends, man. Listen, but the thing is, if like people come in here and they're coughing up the joint,
I mean,
and
just like
because what it means is that the rest of the office will the work will diminish.
Yes,
because you're going to be
pollute
I think
the office.
if you are very, very
home.
ill, fine. But everybody nowadays has a little. I have a cold. I'm staying
Roxy,
home.
you scare me.
Yeah,
That's insane.
You scare me.
I'm over here thinking maybe we should just go two-guy show.
Yeah, I don't think he's sick.
I'm fine. No,
a little
I've got
cough
that.
like that.
No,
that's
I've had
fine.
those bronchial issues.
Yeah,
You
go
know, the
home.
same with with
I joke
Macuga.
about it all the time.
Yeah.
Dennis walks by. If Dennis walks by somebody who sneezes, he gets sick.
Yeah.
He like him and my buddy Eric are the two people I've never like he could watch an episode of ER and get sick.
Here's the problem too: is not enough people are taking vitamins, supplements, things
Right.
of that nature.
And I
to
do
keep
that.
and I do that too. So I'm very rarely sick.
Me
So
too.
if I am sick, it's debilitating.
Right. It's no.
I have
thank you.
never taken a sick day in
Apparently.
10 years.
Yeah, apparently, because you get the whole
Because
office.
you just
sick.
get everybody sick.
No, I don't get anybody sick.
I don't. How do you know that? In the
because
history in 10 years, that's a lie.
I constantly wash my hands. I keep to myself. I'm very rarely sick. And when I am, when have you seen
She
me
doesn't
sick?
drink out other people's cups either.
That's
There's
true.
some
You
people
don't-
like
Yeah,
that.
You don't touch
Yeah.
things like after, and then touch other. You know,
I don't
if you
touch
touch this
anything.
pen, if you touch this pen,
Even-
you
like-
sneeze in your hand and then touch this pen, and I touch it, I get
wouldn't.
sick.
I wouldn't do that. Why would I sneeze in my hand?
How would
and
you
then
know? Maybe
grab
you
the
just
pen?
maybe just like, oops, I sneezed and I didn't realize it. Now I'm
The thing
writing
is,
down
you can
a note.
wash your hands all you want, but you can't wash your hands constantly enough to make sure that they are always clean.
That's true. That's true. But I take all of my vitamins. I take very good care of myself so that I don't get you guys sick. I just am so sick and tired of people not showing up to work because they have a cold. Suck it up, bitch.
Certain
No,
things
but
are
the
airborne
cold
too.
spreads
There are
so
airborne
quickly.
illnesses too.
Yes.
So I mean, you know, I
Don't
would,
breathe.
Yeah, just keep your
keep it-
breath
yeah,
in.
right.
You know.
That's why everyone gets sick on the plane.
My
Yeah.
wife has unlimited sick days, and she doesn't take them when she should. I get mad at her when she's like, I gotta go.
She works for one of those nice companies.
Yeah.
You
But I
can't-
mean, I guess she
the
said
new-
something. They find that people actually take less when you
Yeah.
have, like, there's
Yeah.
a thing with if you have unlimited, you take less than if you have like this limited amount.
Right,
because
you take
then
them
you
all.
go like, oh, I've got so many more sick
Yeah, you gotta
days.
take 'em.
Let's take a vacation.
It's a new hot thing with companies, unlimited PTO.
I
Yeah.
mean, they've been doing it in Germany for the last 35 years because they're smarter over there. But
That comes out in June, by the way, June 4th.
Germany is smarter than
no,
everybody?
would get sick at the office and spread it. That's June 4th
June
with
4th.
Hillary Swank
Yeah.
and Hillary Duff.
and
two
Hillary
Hillarys.
Duff, yeah.
Oh, the Hillarys.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Did you watch the first one of that one, Brett?
Yeah, I got sick from it. It was so bad I got
Right.
sick from it.
Who was
It
your favorite part in the whole movie?
It's when the dolphins came in, like the hordes of dolphins
man, I
came up,
loved that.
and they
That's a
were
good
like, it was almost like this big, massive concert of dolphins.
Right.
It
A
was
little
just,
graphic.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was that with the Swank or
Well, yeah,
Duff
then it turned
moment?
into kind of
They were
like
both
this.
there.
Duff wasn't in the first one.
No, well, Duff was
Cameo.
Yeah, well, her cameo.
Yeah, that's why they had the sequel.
What's the sister's
No,
name?
Duff
Heather
from
Duff?
MTV was
Yes.
in
Duff
that
from
one.
MTV
And-
was
Yeah.
in it, and then they
Not-
replaced her with Hillary Duff.
Yeah.
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 Duff McKagan was also in it too.
Awesome. That one roll with the pizza?
Sick.
And this
Really
was a
good.
sequel
Yeah.
to Duff, the
No, this was the original. Duff, the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all tied into the Dorf on Golf series.
Yes.
It's really good. All right, moving on. I really would love to see people's faces during that. I hope that at least one person was like, "What the fuck?"
I don't think a single person is going to agree with me on this sickness thing, but I'm tired of
Absolutely
it,
not. This
and
is
I
one-
had to say something.
All right,
I had
well,
to stick up for my people.
That's one of your best ones.
I don't like the "you got me sick."
Yeah,
you
that-
know,
that's the other
one.
annoying
How do
thing.
you
Like,
know?
Yeah.
Like, just shut up.
Right.
Shut up. I didn't try to do it on purpose.
yeah,
I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm mad at you. You got me sick.
Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Not the hundreds of
Oh,
other
that's
people
one.
you ran into.
Yeah.
How many dick sucks does she
Great question.
I didn't
How
know
many,
we had
how
a
many
dick
dicks-
sucking limit.
Depends on how
like
well
Clerks.
he does in a schmodown.
It's like Clerks. Good callback.
Sorry.
Good callback.
I told Ben about that yesterday.
How'd that go over?
It was interesting. So he listens to Collider Live a lot of the time, but he hadn't heard about
That.
the no sex, and he looked at me and said, "Is that true?" And I said, yes. Did you not? Was that not a conscious choice? Like you didn't realize that was
so
happening?
blacked out angry after a loss in a movie trivia game.
And he
Watch
was
your
like,
mouth.
he was like,
Fucking mouth. Understand me? Like Frank
That's
the
too
editor.
loud. He was like,
Ban you both from this whole fucking place.
he's like, wow. I mean, I feel like I got better with it towards the end. And then he started trying to like remember the times, and he's like, good thing I don't lose much. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Nice.
Ben.
Who
you
was
lose more
it?
than I.
I don't forget who was yelling. Ben. Does he ever yell it? He does. I forgot. You're right.
Yeah, that's what it does sound like.
He does yell it. He's just standing
I
on
just
the corner.
realized I thought that was saying D.
No, saying Ben.
No, it's Ben.
Is that Jay Washington?
No,
from
it's
his
none of
video.
us. They have
yeah.
this YouTube fan.
It's really
friend
funny,
that
and I
they
like it'd be good if Guy, who's battling him this year, like just taunted him with that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. Fred loves it.
Oh, just do that for the rest of the show.
Yeah, there is one clip I want you guys to play, and I want it's for us. We'll always know what it is, but I want to like just do it. It's that clip. I did watch that trailer for Little Bobby and the Juice a bunch of times. There's some lines in there that are really funny. There's one, and the voices are so good. There's one, and Cody, if you can pull it, I don't know if you can pull it during the break or pull it for Monday or Tuesday. There's this one puppet going back and forth. He goes, "Get a goldfish here, get a goldfish here." I can't get it out of my head. It's so stupid. If you look at the comments,
Is there actual episodes up yet?
no, not yet, not yet.
Okay.
He's trying to figure out what the hell to do with
Where to put it.
He's-
Nowhere.
I don't agree.
Just put it up on YouTube
Yes,
and call
put
it a day.
Put it on, put it on,
Have you
make-
seen the episodes?
I've not seen
You've
the
just seen
episode
the
yet.
trailer.
And
Me
I
too.
told him I'm looking forward to the episode because I told him you'll never see the light of day on either the Schmodown channel or here.
Yeah.
There's just no way because just from the trailer alone, there's a lot of offensive stuff in there. But
He told me,
I laughed.
like-
I was with the people who was offended but laughed a lot.
He told me 3 weeks ago or so that he's like, "Oh, Kristian already approved it on the Schmodown channel." I was like, "Did you show it to him first?" He goes, "Nah, he's fine. He's fine." I was
Yeah,
like,
that's what he said when he was in here the
Yeah.
other day. That I told him that I approved it. Now he's got to talk to Fernandez, and I said that's not what I said.
It is what it is.
That's not what you know.
When he said that to us, I was like, I can't picture Kristian saying that. He's like, he did.
He didn't realize. He
Like,
said
you
it.
know, I can
But he
ask
said
him,
it.
right?
Did
You know,
it.
he's right there.
That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He said it. He doesn't think he said it, but he said it.
If I had that man's confidence,
Oh man, it's the best.
Speaking of
You should have
shows,
seen him at the awards. It was
I
something
heard you
of
guys
a
talking about it. I'm
legend.
like, yeah, I believe it.
It was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
legend.
Was it? He just
Oh.
came out and mumbled and then walked off.
No.
No.
Critics'
At the
Choice
Critics'
Award.
Choice
Oh,
Awards.
I was
No,
like,
no,
yeah.
no.
that wasn't his best
No, that was
performance.
not his best moment. He had to go in and out, and he was supposed to be working, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
And that line that he said the other day, he's just like, "I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm just not there." Or whatever.
it's not even supposed to. He's like, I'm working right now.
Yeah, I'm working right now, but I'm not.
This is how-
That's what he said. He's like, "I'm working right now."
Buffoon.
But he is a buffoon.
If you legitimately get a job in Hollywood doing whatever Tom is doing, there's like most sets are run just like what is happening. It's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna be gone for like 3 hours." Like, all right, cool, we'll see you in
Right,
3 hours.
word.
Well,
It's-
he does a lot of driving,
Yes.
and so he takes these
Big
massive
trucks, yeah.
trucks
Yeah, I
wherever
know.
he goes.
I've seen
Yeah.
the trucks.
You got
And
the
by
truck?
the way,
Of course
you don't get a ticket when you drive a truck. He parks them
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
In the middle of the street, puts the hazards on, comes inside for 4 hours.
To play in a Schmodown or to manage a Schmodown. He's done it many times. Just like, "I got the truck. Can we go? Your match is like an hour. I got the truck in the yard. Forget it. Just all right, tell me when to go."
Blocking entrances like major thoroughfares in Burbank with that truck.
We used to live, Macuga and I used to live right next to Finstock.
Yeah.
And the
remember.
park across the street from us,
Yeah.
there was always, I didn't know it was his. And every time I would try to park there would be this massive truck taking up like 15 of the spots. And I'd be like, this mother effer
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
day is parked here.
With the blinkers
and
on.
finally I was talking, we were all at the bar somewhere, and I was like, oh, this guy, I can't never park there. And he was like, that's me.
That's me.
That's me.
It's mine. So what do you mean it's yours?
I'm the guy.
I'm
the
it's
guy.
mine. I'm the
It's my
guy.
truck.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to return it at night.
Where am I supposed to put it?
But I don't.
Where else am I going to put it?
Right.
And I got to put it somewhere.
Like that Gillette commercial was aimed at Finstock yesterday. That was 100%. That was like, hey, don't be Finstock.
Yeah.
What commercial?
It was like the internet exploded yesterday with
I
this
didn't see
Gillette
it.
ad.
Can we bring it up?
What
sure.
was
I mean,
it?
it's like a minute and
Did you see
30
this?
seconds.
No, I haven't seen it. I heard about it,
It's
though.
all about just like holding men to a higher standard because the last year, if you're a male, you have been under fire because of the vocal minority of idiots.
Good
that
commercial or
have-
bad commercial?
I thought it was powerful. I thought it was well
Let's
done.
I haven't seen
Where
it.
did
And
it
there's a
air?
lot of people everywhere.
It's
Is
like
this-
this.
which one is
This
that?
is not the best a man can get. Like,
Is this it?
Yeah.
against sexual
Oh, I see.
Masculinity. Is this the best a man can get? Is it?
Freak.
We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy? What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
When did this debut?
Yesterday.
Just randomly.
They dropped it on YouTube.
Okay.
And then, it got a huge
Because we-
social response.
We believe in the
And they knew it
best
would.
in men.
Yeah.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Oh right, that's real footage.
Yeah, Terry Crews.
To say
For
the
anybody on
right thing.
iTunes.
It didn't look like real footage,
To act
but it was.
the right way.
Bro, not cool. Not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men.
Oh, that was a great video. Ever see that video?
Yeah, it's awesome.
No. Oh.
but some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Yeah. It's
Wow,
well done.
that's really cool.
And then the internet exploded with this is offensive to men everywhere. I'm like, are you guys
Really?
ridiculous? Yeah,
Why
a
was
lot
it
of
Being
offensive?
nice to people.
A lot of people thought that they were being personally attacked by this ad, or
How
people
many
were.
views?
I don't know. I didn't see
Oh, it's
it,
got
but
millions.
and so I tweeted out something. I was like, I don't understand what everybody's up in arm about men holding themselves to a higher standard. I'm thinking there's a different
11
commercial
million.
out there, right? I was thinking there was a different commercial out there, and I got flipped. A couple guys were like, "This is offensive to men that have done nothing wrong." I'm like, yeah, but. If there are a lot of men out there that have done a lot of things wrong, so we got to change
See,
in
what
the way it
I
is.
took out of that was as a higher standard. The main thing that stuck out to me was the guy holding his daughter and saying,
Yeah,
"I'm
just
strong."
strong- I'm
That's-
strong. That
why-
one was a
why
really
is that
powerful
offensive? Why
moment.
is that offensive?
Well,
to
no,
him?
it's teaching it's not about you. It's about you teaching the next
Right.
That was more
Generation.
about the next generation
Right.
than the, I mean,
That's just,
Also,
of course
to
you
those
hate to learn.
Hey,
people-
don't be a dick to somebody.
Right.
Why, I don't understand.
I do think those two
People,
boys were
nobody's-
just horseplaying in the yard, though. That one, I think, maybe they were smiling while they were doing it.
Yeah.
Well, the one guy, the only thing, most of those things, the one guy that saw the good-looking girl go talk to her.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Well,
No,
I mean,
he was chasing her.
He was chasing her.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what they're
There's
saying.
a-
It's hard
there's
to depict in a commercial.
There's a time
Okay.
and place, man. That's the problem is that girls are constantly I see it at Rouse where a girl's looking at eggs and the dude's like, hey, and I'm like, God,
Right.
man,
It's time and place.
time and place. If
I
you're
will
I think
say
they should have
growth-
shot that somewhere else then, because you see a pretty girl in the street and it's like, oh, I'm going to say hello to her.
It should have been
But
at the
then
gym. That's
it
the
should've
one I
been-
can't
yeah.
stand.
Yeah, leave her
Grocery
alone, let her work out.
on the street. If you are both on the street, not one in the car, those I think
Sure.
are kosher to say hello. You
Right.
don't. If maybe she already turned him down, we can't see it's a commercial. But in general, to the men that are pissed about this, I
chasing
think
a girl
that
down the street.
Yeah,
or
that's
something
crazy.
Like that.
It's
Like,
a-
girls
yeah,
don't
it's
want to
like-
be attacked like that.
She's walking by and
Yeah.
she's just trying to enjoy her day,
Yeah.
and you're bothering her. Yeah,
Whistle
Yeah.
from a
of course.
construction
That was
site and
that
yell
was,
things.
That was
Come
shot.
on.
That was just shot strangely. That
Dear men that are upset about this, nobody's attacking you, and maybe this isn't for you.
Yeah.
There's obviously it's a commercial because it's been an entire movement, so it's for some people, and it's not attacking anybody. It's just saying raise your
Yeah,
kids
I'm
well.
with Brett. I think that it's just about making the next generation better.
Yeah,
through
that's
all this, so
insane that people
I don't
took
know.
offense to this.
Well,
Hey,
I mean,
listen,
people
I'm
get
just
offended.
telling- I'm just saying what
No,
he
no,
was-
I got
know.
a guy who got offended at me because I said there were spaceships in He-Man. I got a four tweet thing
Well,
about
that is rude.
I got a 4-tweet thing about how Reilly and I need to stop talking about it because there's never been some spaceships. It's like spaceships, the fucking technology inside. I mean, come on, talking about ships.
Here
Like
I am
inside,
getting
not
messages
spaceships.
about how much for nudies of me, and you're offended by a commercial. Suck my dick.
Yeah, I'm offended. Nobody's ever
How many
once
suck my
asked me
dicks
for a
do I
name.
I don't know. I
That's
don't
it.
love it.
What do you
don't
want
love it.
instead? Give me a new one.
I don't know. But
We
not
don't
that.
say it.
Yeah.
we
Well,
can't,
you guys
yeah.
have dicks. That would be a different connotation.
I think that's why I don't like
Suck
it.
my pussy.
I don't have one.
No, you can't. You can't. No.
Yikes.
No, Brett.
I love you, Brett.
I would be okay with you saying that.
All right. My mom's gonna call me later.
Let's not all be sensitive.
I'd be okay with it. What is my version of that? Like what?
Can't we just not say either one? Like, can't we just not say that? Can't we just be like, I just don't say it. It's really easy to not say it.
Well, you guys not saying it totally. I mean, if men today are like, suck my dick, that's something.
I'm hilarious every time you say it.
But for me, like, I don't have one. So I'm not asking you to actually do anything. It's not a request. It's a statement.
Yeah, I might take off.
I don't say suck someone's dick. Suck someone's dick.
It's just
at random.
You would rather me say suck my pussy?
No, we'd rather just not say these fucking phrases.
There'll be no sucking of anything.
Like, let's hold ourselves to be a better man for the fucking future.
I have a vagina. I'm a woman. I don't have to hold myself to be a better man.
Oh my god.
Give me a phrase like, piss off, sir. Piss off.
Welcome, Tom Everett Scott.
You know what? You can piss off.
He's
done.
Hey guys.
He didn't want to suck my dick.
Yeah.
Since Macuga left, we do have another person entering the show here on the line. 1 second here.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the line.
Kristian's done.
Hey, you're on the line.
Hello.
Start talking.
Is that my segue?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
That's your segue.
You are unbelievable, bringing up the Schmodown comment again on the show today.
I don't like.
You've got some nerve to be talking.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like that you have carte blanche on how you're going to get into this show every time, and it's going to stop. You hear me?
Every time.
You
It's
hear?
not my
No,
fault.
you're full. You are full of shit, Cody. You little coup over there.
Wait, what are we talking about?
That's Frank.
Yeah, what Schmodown comment?
No, I was busting his balls yesterday. He left a comment on Roka's thing that said is that it's just a movie trivia contest, and I said I told him I would delete if I could delete his comment, but it was Roka's personal.
Hi, Frank.
account. Yeah, so.
Hi guys. I refuse to believe that you're this thin-skinned.
Oh, I was
New
breaking
Yorkers
your
are
chops.
supposed to be tough.
I don't care about it. You have carte blanche on the majority of the shit that you do. I was breaking your chops yesterday. Watching your snake videos.
If you had mascara on, it would be down your face and on
certain things sometimes they get me.
on
That
your
one.
chin. That one was good.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
can't believe he left.
I don't know why he left. I couldn't. I was too inside the laughter. Frank, were you offended by any of that?
I was not. The only thing I was offended by was them suggesting that I should shave. Since I've been working on my leg.
Yeah, I don't
for a while.
No, that's offensive.
Who's suggesting that?
Who suggested
Gillette.
that?
Gillette.
Oh, Gillette. Okay, see. I see.
Yeah, they're still pushing that razor
I
agenda,
think
which
we're
is
saying-
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's a commercial. Right,
Trim.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody likes somebody who trims.
All right. Well, Frank,
Not
thanks
too
for
much.
Thanks for the call once again.
No.
We miss you, and one of these days you'll have to actually be on the show and not from your office.
Yeah, I've tried before. I've been told no several times.
All right.
well, there's a seat open now.
Great hair, great style.
Well, we're gonna go to break. When we get back from the film I Hate Kids, Tom Everett Scott's going to be in, and we're going to talk to him about the new movie, some other things that he worked with Bonnie Somerville. Remember that as well too. So, mutual friends. We're going to talk to Tom Everett Scott when we get back. Collider Live.
Hello there. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it? It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games, and then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we'd like you. That's right. All of you. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Reilly, that's on every week. And I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
Hey guys, Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com. And if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I hope you are, even if it's in secret, then you should be checking out Wrestling Sheet Radio Weekly. We've got a bunch of shows in the podcast feed. We've got weekly recaps from myself and John Roca, which you guys will probably know from the Collider family. That's for Raw, that's for SmackDown. We've also got the weekly roundup of wrestling news. It's a show I host called Wrestling Sheet Radio with Jamie Iovine and Elijah Bates. And we've also got a bunch of other stuff in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/wrestling sheet. So check it out, subscribe, and I hope you guys dig it.
Hey everyone, Mark Ellis here. You know, when I'm not trying to clone dinosaurs or drinking at my neighborhood watering hole, I am probably hosting Collider Movie Talk. It's a flagship show here at Collider. I like to say that because I'm the host of it. It's every day, almost. It's 4 days a week, which is still pretty good, above 50%. You can watch it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 p.m. Los Angeles time is when we do it. It's live, so you can participate in the live chat room. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on every story we have coming because it's all the latest movie news of the day. Who did what at the box office? What horrible Redbox movies Bruce Willis signed on to? The DC, the Marvel, the Star Warses, the Lord of the Rings. Are they making new? I think it's a TV show, and we still might talk about it anyway because we love movies around here. It's myself and an expert panel of guests, including John Roca, Perry Nemiroff, Jeff Snyder, and other noted noters of note. You guys are going to love this show, and then we take your live Twitter questions at the end of the show at Collider Video. You can always use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk to get in touch with us, so subscribe right here to Collider Video. Check out Movie Talk, and check out the Collider Movie Talk podcast feed. We have a podcast feed now. You don't have to look at this handsomeness. You can just listen to it, whether you're driving to work, whether you're driving from work, or you don't have a job, but you have a basement and ears. You can listen to Collider Movie Talk's feed. You can get it at Apple Podcasts or on iTunes. You also get Mailbag. That's the show that's hosted by Perry Nemiroff a lot more professionally than I run this pirate ship. That's our weekend show where she takes your letters. I don't know if you write them or you email them. You have to ask her. Check it out in video form or on our podcast feed.
What's up, Collider fans? If you are a fan of television and you want to watch a guy that looks like me and a guy named Thad Williams talk about TV every single Friday, subscribe to the Collider channel. Collider Podcast is where you can find the video. We have our own iTunes feed, hashtag Collider TV Talk. You can find on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts and you listen to them in your ear holes. That's where Collider TV Talk comes at you. We talk about TV news. We talk about shows we love, shows that we don't love, and most importantly, we don't read any books because TV has nothing to do with reading. We also have a show called Hypothetical Questions with myself and Roxy Striar and all kinds of reviews right here at the Collider Podcast channel and the Collider TV Talk feed. Subscribe, rate, like, tell your friends, tell all your friends, and tell their friends, and before you know it, it's a pyramid scheme of television. I'm Josh Macuga. You can see Thad Williams and myself along with Roxy Striar and all the Collider personalities all the time right here on Collider TV Talk. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Movie Manson. Just to let you know, if you already don't, every Friday here on Collider Video, I host a weekly film review series called Movie Review Talk. The title says it all. Every week I'm joined by two guest critics of my choice, and they're never the same. We review the new films. We pick something that's streaming that you might not know about, but is really great. And we pick a Blu-ray for something that you might have missed in theaters. It is fun. It is infectious. It is the Citizen Kane of movie review shows, and it's only right here on Collider with this guy, Scott Movie Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates himself. Check it out every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Collider Video.
I'm totally walking out.
Oh, you should. Collider Live is back. We're back on the air here, trying to figure out why Josh Macuga left the studio, but we're not going to do that right now. Right now, January 18th, in theaters, he's out already. We lost him. From the new
I
film.
didn't even say anything yet.
Yeah, just wait. A minute in, he's really going to leave. I Hate Kids comes out January 18th, 2018. That's not 2018. This is 2018. It's 2019, everybody. So that's when it comes out. Thomas Everett Scott is here. Hello, Thomas. How are you?
Hello. Good to see you guys.
Nice to have you. We were telling you about our drama going on in the studio.
I can't believe it. It's just
breaks your heart, doesn't it?
No, it's exciting.
Yeah, what did you say? Is it a crazy day?
Yeah, you can feel the vibe. You can feel the vibe. You knew it.
That's all right. I don't live a crazy life, so it's fun.
Ever? Or not anymore?
Never.
You never
No.
did?
Mm-mm.
What do you mean? Just normal, wake up, eat breakfast kind of life?
Yeah. So boring, so normal.
Yeah.
On purpose?
Yes. I think so.
It's a choice.
Yeah. I mean, I married my college sweetheart. We had kids, and
how many kids?
I have two. I have a daughter who's 8. You do too?
Yeah, I have 2 kids. Yeah.
Mine are 18 and 14.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
So you started early.
I did. I basically raised babysitters for the rest of my friends' kids.
That's seriously because I have a 7-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. So I'm like, I can't wait until I got 7 more years before she watch the baby. We get the hell out of here. So I totally understand that. But
14's the age you can babysit.
I would think around that time. Yeah, it depends. I guess it depends on the kid.
Depends on how old the kid that they're babysitting.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, welcome to the show. I'm glad
Thanks.
to have you, man. So
Thank you.
A lot of things that I'd mentioned. We have a mutual friend in Bonnie Somerville that
That's
we
right.
talked about.
What did you guys work on
I
together?
worked with her twice on Kashmir Mafia, and then we both did an episode of this pilot for it was like a spin-off of Criminal Minds. It was called
Oh, cool.
Beyond Borders or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
saw that too. I saw that episode.
Yeah, she and I get kidnapped on a boat. Oh my
Yeah.
god, crazy.
Just a total average life.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
No, but when that happens though, too, because you got that. The reason that particular episode or that thing had struck me was because I was a dad and being in that situation with your family. That's got to be pretty terrifying, just as anyone to try to do that.
It would be. It would be totally harrowing. So, we were always just like this intense, like heightened, drama while we were acting, and we were exhausted. But also, we were out on this boat, like off of Long Beach, and I don't really do that great on boats. I don't love being like out in the middle of like the ocean.
Yeah,
no,
I'm not a fan.
You get seasick or you're nervous?
No, I don't get seasick. I just don't like the idea that just below me could be just anything.
Anything.
Like
Oh,
a
that's the
sea
coolest
monster.
part.
And then this whale like came up and just like splashed down next to us, which was cool. But
It's cool to see as far as the nature part. I want to see more nature. And they're like, I'm good. After it happens.
What?
After it happens, because of that, it's like I don't want to get eaten by a shark. That's the worst story.
See, she's the other kind. You're either us who gets sweaty palms from thinking about the ocean, or you're the kind of person who's like, the ocean's awesome.
It's so. Drowning wouldn't be awesome. Getting eaten by a shark.
My dad
would not.
almost drowned. I think that always has kind of stuck with me. So there you
Wow.
go.
This wasn't you.
It's like deep therapy here.
It's gone off the rails.
But nobody's left the room yet, so we're still ahead.
Give us time. Give us time.
So having kids has been a big, huge part of my life, and this movie.
I was just gonna say, why do you hate them?
So I know, right? And I
Well,
thought,
he doesn't hate them.
I
He
know.
clarifies many times he doesn't hate them.
That's right. And it's a tongue-in-cheek novel that this character has written called I Hate Kids. But in his life, he's like, I don't want to have them. So to me, as an actor, I was like, I've been playing a lot of really great roles, but I've never played somebody this different from who I am. So he's been a playboy. He's a writer. He loves his life without kids. He's found this woman who also doesn't want to have kids. So he's super psyched to settle down. And this 13-year-old boy comes along and says, "You're my dad." And there's,
At the engagement or rehearsal dinner situation.
So it throws this huge wrench into my character's plans, and then Titus Burgess plays this radio psychic who I totally think is a scam artist, and he's saying that he's the one who psychically linked us and stuff. So then we go on this road trip to find the kid's mom, and hijinks ensue.
I think that what was so cool about your relationship with the love of your life in this movie, the person you're engaged to, is that usually you see that girl being the psycho who's always like, he's lying, he's crazy. And she was not like that at all. I've actually never seen that in a movie where they didn't just go for drama's sake. Did you guys talk about that a lot?
No, it was just in the script. I mean, there was just Rachel Boston played that part really beautifully. She was adorable and great. And her friend, or is it her sister, Ray Seahorn, plays the
pregnant sister.
Yeah, who's kind of doing the complaining for her and the suspicion for her. And those two together, I think, are great in the movie. I love Ray Seahorn. I'm a huge Better Call Saul fan.
Yeah.
I mean, she's so good in that.
She's incredible in
Yeah.
that. So did you get to actually work with her? There wasn't that much interaction between the two of you guys.
Because we were on such a short schedule and tight budget, and because their characters are chasing our characters, we wound up like working in a lot of the same locations together. Just someone would be shooting in the morning, someone in the afternoon, so we would kind of cross paths and hang out a bit. But they're great.
You worked on a bunch of you've worked on some big budget movies. You worked on this is what I like about this kind of small the indie feel. You always get like the most real stories out of those. You always get the best emotion, and you get to develop character more. Do you have a preference? And because like I said, you've done a lot of television, you've done a lot of do you have a preference of what you like to do the most as far as being an actor goes?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not really choosing things based on the size of the budget. I'm really usually just picking stuff that I respond to. And as an actor, I just want to kind of keep working, and it makes me happy, which may sound corny, but I really do enjoy it. So, as long as I can keep doing it, it's great. I don't always get these opportunities to play different kinds of characters.
Right.
It wouldn't have mattered to me what size the budget is, but being on big movies like La La Land, or even bigger movies like I actually haven't been on that too many like giant budgeted movies, maybe like Race to Witch Mountain, back like that Disney movie I did with The Rock. But those are fun too. They just have better craft service, to be honest. That's like really what it is. Can I just tilt this up?
Yeah, always please, doing absolutely. It for the crafty. Do you ever run anything by the high school sweetheart or your kids? Or are you thinking like, all right, are they going to be able to watch this? Should I take this role because of how they'll look at dad or how they'll look at me? Or is that not in your mind?
Like, it's nice to be able to do stuff that they can see. That's really fun. But I mean, I don't pick stuff based on like whether they'll approve of it or not. Although if I don't like it, usually they're not going to like it. We all pretty much have the same, sensibility when it comes to that stuff.
You mentioned it's funny because we were talking about the Critics' Choice Awards. We got a chance to go the other night, and I had a nice conversation with Damon Chazelle, actually, and sweetheart of a dude,
right?
Really sweetheart of a dude, and his movies so far. I told him that's what I had. The conversation I had with him was like, "You're one of those guys for me. The same way I look forward to like a Tarantino movie or a Nolan movie, I'm looking forward to your." He's 3 for 3, man. I loved First Man.
Great.
Loved Whiplash and La La Land. So there's to me. Those are the 3 movies of his and he did the short film for Whiplash. I think that's how he got started. But have you kept in contact with him? And
no, we haven't really kept in contact. I mean, everyone just kind of moves on to their next thing. But we really had a great connection, and I got to meet his folks at the Oscars party, and everyone. He's just such a normal dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and his movies are so different from one another. He just has so much respect for this process, and he's obviously so gifted. I love that he keeps working with Justin Hurwitz, who wrote the great music. First Man has just got that haunting score.
I loved it. Like the way it was used so well throughout. And it's that opening scene in that movie. It's like takes your breath away.
Made me nauseous.
You feel like you're in.
I think. If you're going to walk out of a movie, that's the one. If it makes you all the spinning makes you nauseous.
You know whether or not you can handle it within the first like 10 seconds, and then you're either in or out.
Right. I mean, you can't walk out of that one because of Claire Foy's eyes just kind of keep you locked in.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting that you said that everybody kind of just moves on after the project. Is that typically the case on all your sets, where afterwards you don't keep in touch, or are there ever those rare situations where you really bond with somebody and then they're your BFF?
Yeah, I mean, on my first movie, I became best friends with Steve Zahn, and he was my best man at my wedding, and our wives are great friends, and we're just super tight. We're like family. He's like an uncle to my kids, and vice versa. But I thought that was going to happen on every movie. I'm going to make a best friend on every single movie. This is great. And it just doesn't happen. It was just like happened to be on the first one.
It's like small pockets of summer camp, right? It is kind of what it is.
It is. And that's maybe part of the difficulty of maintaining those friendships, is that you have that one thing in common, that movie that you worked on, and it's great.
Right.
But it's tough to recreate that set life. It's very much like being in the circus.
It's interesting though too, because as an actor, to where so let's say your first movie is are you referring to that thing you do?
That thing you do. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Because like Tom Hanks, so the reason I asked that is just obviously it's a great connection to have. Because maybe there's certain movies that not necessarily just keeping it for relationships like you got with Zahn, but then there's other relationships with business that you want to maybe make, and that I think that's part of the networking inside of the set. Yes,
100%. And I certainly want to be able to have such great relationships with these people that you want to keep working together. The Playtone people, the company that Tom and Gary Getzman formed after that thing you do, they're amazing, and there's always been this connection. We've all stayed friends. We all catch baseball games together, and that's wonderful to be part of the Playtone family, because it was the first thing I ever did, so it is very special. And I do stay in touch with Jonathan Check and Ethan Embry as well, the other wonders.
So that kind of goes back to what I wanted to ask you about your movie now, I Hate Kids. So how did you get involved in this one? Again, was the script just kind of sent to you, or did you met through connections or anything?
I got sent the script.
Okay.
I loved the title. I thought that was really funny. It made me laugh, and I was like, well, now I got to read this. I met with John Asher, the director, and we talked about tone. We talked about where we saw this guy. I wanted him to physically break down like throughout the movie, because I think this character who feels this strongly about kids, and then he obviously has to kind of like, I wanted him to get dragged toward
Yeah.
changing his mind. I didn't, I wanted it to be a difficult decision for him just for the comedy. And we were all on the same page. And like I said, small budget, small schedule, you got to kind of really come together on an idea quickly and hope that it works. And then Titus brought such great stuff. I mean, he's so funny and talented, and he just, solidified the whole thing. And then that kid is great.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how well you guys played off each other, too. I mean, for a young actor, you never really know what you're getting. It's kind of a crapshoot. Was he like that from the first take?
He's just not like your typical kid actor. He's just so unique and different, and he's funny without even opening his mouth. I mean, I just loved it. I loved working with him.
Well, again,
I could tell.
the movie is I Hate Kids, and it comes out January 18th in theaters and on demand. There was a show that you did when I first moved to LA. There was a show that you did, and I hope that we can remember the name of it. And it was, I loved the premise of it. I loved what it ultimately turned into, but it was about time travel. And it was, I believe that there was like
was it called Do Over?
Yes,
Penn Badgley?
it was Do Over.
So I play a guy who like gets knocked out and goes back in time or something like that.
Yes,
It was a TV show?
It was a TV show, yeah. And I remember seeing it because I'm fascinated by that stuff, and I kind of always had these ideas. And this show had come out right. It was right around like '99 or 2000.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And I remember that, and I remember you. I had seen that thing you do in college when it was Florida State. Loved it. Loved what you did in that movie. And then I was like, oh, I like this guy. I want to watch it. And I loved that premise. And I think it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, and I like kind of obsess about like going back in time.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know how many people do this, but you always just kind of like wonder like if you could go back, what would you do differently?
Right.
And that's basically what that movie was, and the writers were just like mining that for comedy.
Love to see that show come back.
Yeah, I
That was
know.
a cool premise, man.
Yeah, and Penn Badgley. I mean, that was like one of the first things he did.
Yeah.
I gotta check
it
that
out.
out.
It was
Where was it?
cool. Was it Fox?
Warren Littlefield was a producer, but I can't remember where it was.
I think I want to tell you it was Fox, but I could be completely
Could
wrong.
be.
Does that happen to you a lot? You've just done so many projects where it's like,
It's a while. It was 18 years ago.
Yeah.
A while ago. 19. Shoot.
Yeah, I think
Working for a long time.
and which is a good thing. But
Mm-hmm.
it always bums me out if I run into somebody who I'm like, nice to meet you, and they're like, we worked together before.
Right.
But it wouldn't be like somebody
It's not
who I
your
had.
fault though. You meet so many people on set and all over the place every day. You meet so many people, and they're not realizing.
It's true, and it's usually like an actor or somebody I have like a real face to face with. I don't forget, but like if it's just somebody who I'll always feel bad if I don't remember.
Yeah. You seem a pretty nice guy. I mean, unless again he's a phenomenal actor.
You
He's
don't
like, what a
know.
bunch of dicks when he comes out when he leaves.
He's pretending to have this whole simple life.
right. It's
I
like,
married
I
my high
remember
school
you. I
sweetheart.
just don't like you.
I just decided that's what I was going to do when I came in here. I was going to play this guy.
It's good. It's good.
So you haven't had, because like you said, you have had this nice life where you married your high school sweetheart, had the 2 kids. What do you pull from when you were playing all these different roles? What do you pull from? Imagination?
I think I just was always like pretending as a kid. I have 3 sisters and the only boy, and there was no. I mean, we had such a great neighborhood and just vast woods out behind our house, and I was just constantly like playing pretend. And my younger sister Megan and I were just partners in crime, and we just made each other laugh most of the time.
I'm sorry. Where are you from?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
What part?
Oh, there you go.
East Bridgewater.
Oh.
Where are you from?
Newton.
Newton.
Mhm.
Yeah, closer to the
My
city.
mom went to Bridgewater State.
No way.
So-
That's where my sister went.
See?
Yeah,
Right
I
over
painted dorm rooms as a summer job
wow.
at Bridgewater State.
Wow, that's
See?
so cool.
Yeah.
See, Roxy, you know everybody. Small connections. Look
Well,
at that.
it kind of like where we grew up, nothing to do when it's cold. So movies, playing pretend, whatever it is
Yeah,
that you're doing,
yeah.
that's kind of it's either that or drugs. So good choice.
Thank you.
Good
Thanks.
choice.
Smart life choices.
Right. I couldn't find the drugs. There was just none in my small town. I'm just kidding. I wasn't looking for them. But it was great. Like East Bridgewater is much smaller than Newton.
Yeah.
There's like 3 stoplights in the whole town. Yeah. There just was very
Was
little
that
to
daunting then to be from that small town and then want to come out to Los Angeles? Did you go from there to Los Angeles? Where'd you go?
Yeah, it was just like a progression. Like I knew that by the end of high school, I definitely wanted to get out of there.
Okay.
I went to Syracuse University, which was a bigger campus, and I was definitely like, oh my God, I've never seen this many people in one place.
Were you a theater major?
I at first communications, and then I transferred, and then New York, which was scary.
Yep.
Like you're saying, and then I kind of never really thought I'd
It's
live
good
in
training,
LA.
though. That's good training to start in New York, and then if you can handle New York, then you can handle LA for sure.
I think so. They're totally different cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your sweetheart was just like, yeah, I'll bop around wherever you're going?
Well, when we met, we were both. I didn't meet her in high school. I met her in college.
Oh, college,
and we were
sweetheart.
both doing acting.
We're already finding holes in his story.
We were doing theater in New York. We didn't date in college. We just were friends. And then when she was a year behind me. When she got to the city, we started doing this theater together. And I had always liked her. And I think she never gave me the time of day until this one moment. And then, you know, the rest is history. Yeah. So I don't know. I somehow just like wore her down, I guess.
Well, there you go.
And
now,
that's how you do it, guys.
That's how you do it. See? Got, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Everett Scott here, and thank you for joining us today. The movie is I Hate Kids. It comes out in theaters and on demand on January 18th. Please go and check it out, and please come back and visit again, man. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, when we get back, I got to get to the bottom of this Macuga thing. So
I'm nervous.
we got to get him in
I
here.
don't want to do it.
All
Good
right,
luck, guys.
Collider Live, thank you so much. Hello, Collider fans. I'm Kristian Harloff, and you see my stupid name in the background because that's my other show. It's One-on-One with me, Kristian Harloff. What the hell is it? I just sit down and talk to people. I literally just sit down and talk to people about what the hell's going on in their lives and their careers, and it's a long-form interview show. Originally, it aired on Collider Video as far as the YouTube channel goes, but we moved it on over, and it's on the Collider Video podcast, Collider Podcast, on YouTube. Go on over there if you want to see the video and to see the pretty faces that I'm talking to. Had some great guests over the past. And we're going to have a lot more. And there's going to be people that maybe some celebrities or actors and actresses, producers, writers, all that stuff. But there's also a lot of the people that you know around here. I could have Cobbster on there. I could have Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Mark Reilly, Roxy Striar, whoever. And I'm going to find out more about them. Long form, and also go to Apple Podcasts and check out the One-on-One feed with Kristian Harloff. And not only is my show on there, Mark Reilly, the Reilly Roundtable, which is another sit-down, long-form interview show, that's also there. And when Steve Frosty Weintraub talks to Kevin Smith or George Takei, that's going to be on that podcast feed also. So if you're taking a long drive and you like those long-form interviews, pop on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff, give it a rate, comment, do all that because it helps the show and it makes Podcast One go, hey, you know what? Those people should get ad money.
Oh, hi guys. It's Perry here, and I am going to tell you about The Witching Hour. It is the show that I host along with Collider.com's Haley Fouch. It is in podcast form on the Collider Factory feed, and we also have the video up and running every Tuesday for you right there on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. We talk about everything horror. We're talking TV, movies, the newest releases. We talk about movies that are celebrating anniversaries. We've even talked about books. It's crazy. If it is scary, we are talking about it on The Witching Hour. We also have so many filmmaker interviews, really cool stuff. It's all coming your way every single Tuesday on The Witching Hour. Check it out. Collider Factory and the Collider Podcast YouTube channel.
Hello, Collider Live. My name is Amy Dallin.
And I'm Coy Jandro, and we host a little show we love called Collider Heroes. And it is all of the things we love about movies, TV, comics themselves, all the breaking news, trailers, photos, but not paparazzi photos.
All of the superhero stuff we love, all of the indie comic stuff we love, all the stuff you had no idea was based on comics.
80 years of comic lore have led to this show, and many years in film and TV, and we're living in a golden age of comics, and we want to share all of that zeal with you folks.
So we talk about the stuff that's coming out. We talk about what we hope is coming out. We do fantasy casting of things that should exist. Why don't they exist?
And we do your Twitter questions asking directly to us what we think of certain things. And every single week, since we both actually love and read physical comics, buy in print, we have a comic pull list where our 5 biggest favorite books of the week come out, and we dive into those with you guys.
You can buy digital. I'll forgive you. As long as you're paying for your comics. It's all good.
But if you buy in print, you can bag them and board them, and then they're worth more later, because comics are like certain things from the 90s that are totally worth the value. Buy comics, buy in print. Digital's never worth anything later. Buy in print. Keep comic stores alive.
Or we can debate collector's items all day long. We can debate casting. We can debate movie news. We can have all of our friends come join us, as we frequently do. We can ask professionals about their work. We've had some amazing guests come by the show.
Yep. We try to
catch it every Wednesday.
That are on these properties that also love comics. You hear what it's like from their perspective, from inside, from outside, and this is all with the focus of bringing all this news to you guys. And we're here every Wednesday on Collider, and we love this stuff and want to share it with you guys.
We'll see you then.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. That's right, they gave Reilly his own podcast. The Reilly Roundtable is on its new home, and that is One-on-One with Kristian Harloff on the iTunes feed for Podcast One. It drops every Thursday. The Reilly Roundtable is a little bit about everything. It's about movies and life and movies and everything in between. I like to have on special guests for discussions like Justice League versus Batman v Superman, for discussions about wine tasting, for discussions about UFOs, and everything in between. That's right. The Reilly Roundtable drops on Thursdays on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff podcast feed and later on Collider Video's own podcast video network. So check it out every Thursday, the Reilly Roundtable. See you there.
Hey everyone, this is John Roca. You know me as one of the co-hosts for Collider Sports Time every Monday on Collider Sports YouTube and podcast channel. But we got another show on here. That's Collider Sportsbook. Josh Macuga, the Wild Man, he hosts that one. I join him on those, and they're a lot of fun. We break down the lines and the predictions with the over and unders. A lot of stuff going on for all the NFL games and some select college football games as well. We do that every week. We also do special ones on Thursday nights for those Thursday night football games. Let you know where to put your money, what bets to put down, who to go with, who not to go with. We give you a lot of information, and we give you our thoughts. You know, Josh Macuga, he does it by the gut. I do it more from the statistics point of view, and every once in a while, Mark Fernandez even joins us to throw in his 2 cents on the Thursday night sportsbook. So there's a lot of sports action here on Sports Time, on the Collider Sports YouTube and podcast channel. Join us there, subscribe there, definitely on the podcast channel. We need your downloads, subscriptions, and views there. So give us some love on Collider Sports, and we'll talk to you soon.
Collider Live, back, full crew in the house. First of all, we'll talk about Thomas Everett Scott. What a nice guy he was.
A doll.
Really nice guy.
And I honestly believe every word he said.
Oh, me too. I was breaking his chops. I think
Totally.
he's really good. And
I
missed
love
that.
sweet people.
Did you ever see that show Do Over when it was on?
Do Over.
I didn't remember
Reilly,
that.
you would have loved it. You would have loved it.
In the late 90s, you said?
It was like 99, 2000, right around that area.
Time travel show.
Yeah, like he could go back when he knew everything that he did. Like, so if it was like me today and I jumped back into my 13-year-old self, but I knew everything that happened.
Oh, you have all
my
your...
memories. Yeah, all
That's
memories.
cool.
It's going to be better than dealing in the timeline than Flash has ever been. So I'd like to see it.
It'd be like if we could go back earlier today
and erase everything that happened. We're gonna figure. I want to find out what the hell happened.
I
don't really know yet. No, we're gonna find out, but not yet. Because Macuga was saying that a lot of times Thomas Everett Scott usually plays. He's a dad a lot.
Yeah.
You can tell too. He's probably a really good dad. Yeah. You can tell.
Clearly the best.
Yeah.
Like,
really good
you
dude.
want that guy as your dad.
Yeah. Take you to the cool things.
And
Except
you
not
want him
on
as
the
your
water.
husband.
He's not going to go in the water with you.
I think he would. That's the part
He
of
would-
being a dad.
that's
He
true.
would
He
totally
just-
would.
he just wouldn't like it.
No, he wouldn't like it,
Yeah.
but he's the kind of guy who would do a ton of things he didn't like to do
True.
just because like it makes him the good guy.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. Do the right thing.
Speaking of doing the right thing, let's figure this out. So I was in
different movie. That's that thing you do.
I was in mid laugh during the scene, so I didn't see it. I saw you walk out. You got upset. And then we were wondering if it was for the bit, and you're hot right now.
Yeah, dude. It's like
What happened?
we can be better as people, like what that commercial did, right?
Yeah.
I understand that we talk about blue stuff on here all the time. It's fine. There's poop and there's farts and there's all that kind of stuff, right? And Roxy gets 3 F words.
You
and
want
all that
time-
Kind of
you
stuff.
want timing.
We all get
It's
4.
fine, but like, can we not have this long conversation where it turns into what's the right thing to say instead of what Roxy said, and then Brett chimes in and adds gasoline to you, and that's all you need is Captain Kickass adding to Captain Idiot over here. Fuck off! And
I didn't
before
say
you
a
know
word.
it, you're crying about him. I mean, it's just like that shouldn't be the show. Well, it shouldn't be the show.
I know
what our thing is. That's the show,
Yeah.
but that shouldn't be the show.
Look, and I'm not. And what I will tell you is this: if a conversation happens, and that the particular thing that was organic and what happened, nobody was doing it for bits. It happened for the conversation. I found it funny. I understand if you were offended because it went in from one conversation to the next.
Just like
it happened.
We can be better people. Like we can say
Sure.
a better
I think that
thing.
makes me a bad
I don't
It's
think
not,
it does
I'm not
either.
saying you're a bad person. I'm just
That's
saying
what you just did, Macuga. Like I
We
love
can-
you, and I'm so sorry if I offended you, and I never want to.
But
Because
can't we just say better things?
I
like,
can't
we
if
say
it matters to you, then I will, Josh. Then I will. But it's part of my.
We're on a show. Like I don't
I know,
want
but it's
people
part
to
of my
tune in. And like, what if
personality.
like a big time? Like, what if a PR person tunes in?
Right.
Like, I want to get my people in here, and we're talking about and this. Like that's the thing. I don't mind poops and farts. I really don't.
My hope
It's
is
funny.
that
I would rather this than poops and farts.
Okay, so like then get rid of it. It's fine.
All right, well, listen. My hope is that someone would watch that whole conversation, see the organic thing, and laugh. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have that type of sense of humor. Maybe look, you and I a lot of times are on a different sense of humor. I find some juvenile shit funny, and I'll talk about it on here.
It's 100% juvenile.
I'm not
that I
arguing
do
with him on
that.
that. I think he's
It
right.
is.
But sometimes
But
I like
do
to
it.
kick back and do that because it's just like it. And honestly, I was just listening to it. Could I have stopped it earlier? Yeah, I probably could have. But I was in mid laugh. I understand also why you're pissed off about it and why I'd rather you leave the room like you did, and then you could. And I appreciate you coming back in and talk about it.
Sure.
You had some time to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, we can be a better show.
Sure.
I didn't think that made it a bad show. I think what you're saying is kind of mean.
Oh, good then, because we can be better. Like we can say better things.
I didn't
When you
think that
said
was
to
me
me
being
like,
bad.
"What could we?" It kind of is. It's like it's just being. It's
Part of my personality, man.
I understand that, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
But I like that part of myself.
Yeah, and it's
I know it
just
doesn't have to be. I
selling
choose
yourself
it.
short. It's selling
I don't-
everybody short in the room by saying like we can say it funnier. We don't have to always go blue. We don't have to say.
I don't always go blue. It's just part
You
of
said
my.
it like 3 straight times, and then and it's just I don't want to be a part of the
How many
show
times
when
do I
that
say,
comes
"Can
in.
I
then.
come?" I say it all the time. It's
That's
one of like
really
5,
funny.
It's
That's
one of like
very
5
funny.
things that I do, and I'm so sorry it upsets you. And
What, can I come?
will-
I think it's hysterical.
No. I'm saying the other one that you don't want me to say, and I'm so sorry that it offended you. And I will work hard. I didn't know.
It doesn't offend me personally. It offends me that I'm part of this show when that is like the conversation. Like we are held to a higher standard because we are given this place to talk into a microphone, and that's where the conversation divulges from a commercial that we were supposed to hold each other to a higher standard.
It's kind of about like I know it sounds stupid, but for me, it's about taking back the power. I really don't. When I say the phrase that you don't like, from me personally, I don't think anybody feels scared. I don't think anybody feels threatened. I'm not using it in a way that is saying anything sexual. I'm using it as that's my like, okay, to you trolls, F off. That's my version of that.
Isn't it easier to say F off?
Well, I have only 4 of those, so I got to get creative.
It's really the phrase in general because the conversation started. I told you that's how it started. I said I don't like. That's why you said you have 2. Yeah. I don't like when you say it. And that's what I said.
I didn't know you guys had a problem.
But
with
it's okay. But the thing was, when
And
I was
it's
having
not
the
just
conversation,
you, it's everybody.
But
when that phrase comes out of my mouth, I don't want that.
But it's me right now.
So it's right. So you're not getting picked on, by the way.
No,
I
don't feel picked on.
No, I want to make sure that is because that was the conversation. I think that we both started.
I said the worst thing, and maybe I'm getting beat up for that.
Though.
But I don't know.
But
I mean,
doing it
the
in a
show was
joking
never
manner.
defined as not being that Macuga, so I don't know how I'm supposed to. And
Because you
Kristian's like,
shouldn't
don't
say
hold
that.
back.
You just shouldn't say that.
Okay, you're telling me how to be a better. I know I'm a good parent. I know I'm a good person.
I'm
so
not
I mean,
saying
like,
you're a bad parent.
This is.
I never said that. I'm saying what you said wasn't good.
See,
it wasn't good.
See, I'll disagree with you. I thought for what the conversation was because I thought that was a funny comedic moment because what he did, the whole point was how extreme we thought that was in general, and then the fact that he went even more extreme. It was the bit. I actually think it was a funny joke. I thought the way that he did it was funny.
We agree to disagree on what's funny. That's fine, and you don't have to think it's funny, absolutely. But I will try harder if that makes you feel more comfortable being here because I want you to be here. So
it just devolved into something so
Look,
so quick.
The other thing is that
and we had a guest coming in 5 minutes, and that's where the conversation was. I mean, guys, we want to grow this show. We want to make it better. That's not making the show better. I don't think. I mean, the audience can go ahead and disagree with me on this one.
Hold on. So what do you? So I'm confused then because is it the overall the statement in general that came out of what she said, or was it a mixture of the fact that it should have just died? The conversation should have died right afterwards. That's you're upset that we didn't stop it right away.
Yeah, okay. I just there was no place. I don't find that funny. There's a lot of things that I find funny, and I'm not personally offended. But we are on a show. We are trying to build a brand of a show.
Sure, but here's what
by getting better guests, and we're not getting that by this.
No, see,
I thought it was.
Yeah,
that.
see, I'm gonna say this. I think that everything you said, very similar to what we talked about when not to the extreme, obviously, but when Lilo was in here, right? You had your thoughts and your convictions.
Mm-hmm.
No one, even if we agreed or disagreed with you, no one made you feel shit for that because that's how you feel. You're in a different phase of your career right now too. Things that you want to do and accomplish, and I understand that. So you also want to be protective of yourself, and I understand that. What I will tell you is, I think what you did, walking out, it's probably what you should do. Because the show, I'll tell you that if I think something's funny, I'm gonna let it go. Unless there's not a racist thing. There was nothing I thought inside. I thought that conversation was legit. We were having a fun conversation from it, but I understand you walking out. I think that if you run the show one day, if it's you and Roxy hosting this show, then you guys can talk about that for sure. But I just certain conversations that I think I'm going to let go, I'm going to let go. And you should walk out, and you'll be welcome back whenever you want to come back in.
Right.
I think that it's fair that you have those.
I didn't mean to attack you personally.
I know, and Josh, you and I are very good friends.
And you too, Brett. And it just that is not what I signed on for this show. And when it devolved to that, that's when I
Then
stepped
you want to
out.
get out, and you should do that. If it
See,
ever
that's
goes
the confusion to me because
That is what I
Christian's
signed up
over here
for.
telling me don't hold back,
And,
do whatever,
and I will continue to tell you to hold back.
And now I feel like I need to stifle myself.
No, don't.
Which is kind of where I got into that place of hiding in the corner.
You should. I'm telling you right now, don't, because from what I will also say too, and regardless of, and if I know the counter to this is we want more audience that won't like that. The audience, because I went in there to find out, the audience was loving it. They laughed. They thought that your line was really funny. So I don't want you to hold back. But I do want Macuga to be able to talk his mind and say whatever the hell he wants to say. And he should. I don't want him sitting there stewing. And I want him to be able to talk. And I asked him. I said to him, do you want to talk about it? And he said, yeah. So that's the show.
Yeah.
That is what the show is. And so some people, as far as the guests go, as far as people, seeing the show and don't want guests, that's what the show is. I would much rather, because we weren't even going to have guests on the show when we started. That was never the intent, was to have guests. It's just we started getting pitched more guests. I want to talk to people the same way I would. If those microphones were off, that conversation would have happened. I would have said, Roxy, I don't like the way that sounds. I would have said something like that. And regardless, it doesn't matter what you said. And then Brett chimes in and says something ridiculous. I'm glad we captured that moment on there, because that is you. That's what you do. And you shouldn't. And by the way,
it doesn't sit with me well. Honestly, this doesn't sit with me well because I'm allowed to speak and I'm allowed to say that, and I shouldn't feel the way that I feel right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're not allowed to say it. I'm saying why do we have to say it on here?
Because I want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I don't need to be on this show.
And how come you guys get to live in the blue and I don't?
Of course you live in the blue.
Are you kidding me? You're the most blue person on this show.
We all do. It's not that particular. It's a particular statement for in general. Not any of us saying it. Any of us saying it.
It's different. I don't have a penis.
I know.
It's not the same. It's not any of us saying it. It's a different thing. It's a different thing.
I agree with you. You should be allowed.
Whatever.
No, whatever.
No,
you should be able to.
Honestly, I say whatever. Like it is what it is.
You're allowed.
Not in a piss way.
No one's telling you can't say it. What I said.
I feel as if I can't because I want Josh on the show. He wants the show to be held to a higher standard. I didn't know that's what we were doing, and so now
you can say whatever you want. What I said to you, but I also have the right to say I don't like the way it sounds.
Of course.
I didn't say don't say it anymore. You can't say it anymore. And Macuga says he don't like the way it sounds. There are other things I'm sure that by the way,
that's not what he said.
Okay, what did he say?
You're a better person than that. You should be held to. You should hold yourself to a higher standard than that. That's not the same thing, Kristian.
Okay. But listen, what I want to do is there's a way to work this thing out. There's a way to work this whole thing.
It's fine, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I don't appreciate it. I don't think it's nice.
Are we?
I feel bad for Brett.
Well, I'm not a better person, so I am that. I mean, that's how my comedic delivery for my entire life was being around bullies and trying to make them laugh and one-upping and doing ridiculous things.
Right.
So the knee-jerk stuff that comes to my head is always the what's going to be the extreme and whatever. So
I don't think you should.
But I mean, if I was told this show was not that, I could by all means not make anything.
We're gonna end this conversation right now.
Yeah.
You are allowed to say whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can. There's no one's. People will tell you whether or not they think the same way you'll tell me. I think something. I don't like that's icky the way it sounds. You can say whatever you want. You're not to hold back. Same with you.
And I don't think that what I said was was it taken as like abusive sexually towards women in any way? I mean,
you were doing the extreme. You were showing the extreme because even what was Roxy was saying, it's an extreme reaction to say whatever. If you say that same way that's the joke. The joke was that it was extreme. Mm-hmm. It was funny.
And
then
we all know jokes are the funniest when you have to explain them. That's definitely something we can all agree on.
So that was fun.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Honestly, man, don't want to be on this show today. I really don't want to be on this show.
Finish until the break. Finish until the break. Don't walk out again. twice a week. You can't.
Don't make him do something he doesn't want to do.
This just isn't for me today.
You don't want to talk.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
Riley, come take his place.
All right.
All right. So this was probably a show-defining moment today. Riley, come back in. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. The whole entire room is decimated now. I thought it was a good show. Thank you so much.
There we go.
Cobbster.
Honestly, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. So I'm trying to do that, but it's hard. It's hard because we're friends. So
yeah, it's tough.
When your friend looks at you and says you're a better person than that, you can do better.
I don't think that's what he's trying to say. Though.
I whether it is or isn't, it's hard to move forward from that. And that's what people are seeing right now. It's hard.
It's tough. Riley, got any thoughts?
No.
That's why I like you. Stay out of the dirt.
No, I can see both sides, but the fact of the matter is I'm a little upset because here I am. It's like I'm dealing with a guest, and then this is all going on, and I'm just like, I'm really concerned about the guest. I'm talking to the publicist, and this is all happening, and I don't think that's good.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And so I don't fucking care. I'll be the middleman here.
Yeah.
And see both sides of it, but I think we could have handled it better. I see his point.
Mm-hmm.
I think leading into the conversation, I would have toned it down. I would have said, we have guests coming in, and there's a lot of that stuff going on, and I would have gone, if I was in the room, I would have said, and I wasn't. I missed a bunch of that because I was talking to the publicist and Tom. So I would have squashed it. I would have said, we have a guest coming in who wants, and the publicist wants the headphones to see what's going on. And I wanted a better representation, or
she was listening to the show.
Yeah.
Did she laugh?
Yeah. No.
Good.
She was
laughing.
No. She was listening to the show when he was coming on, but as we were getting there, I was kind of like stalling a bit before she put on the headphones. I think we needed to tone it down.
Well, all right. Well, it happened.
It happened, and I understand where he's coming from, but at the same point, I also understand that is the show. It did happen organic. There were moments that you guys were having fun. And he was not.
He was not. Yeah, that's really what it was.
And that's his prerogative.
It is. He can react however he wants to.
Yeah.
He is. What I don't want is either one of you two to stop what you do on this show.
Nope.
You do what you do, and we have the moments we have on this show because you're who you are. And it's true. What?
No. I just I don't know why I'm laughing. Maybe nervous.
Nervous.
Oh yeah, I feel completely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like total dog shit right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
there's
too.
no.
Me
He
too.
definitely made me feel like dog shit.
Well, you should.
Like
Me too.
and it's
But
like.
I don't think I should because I feel very comfortable saying "suck my dick." I always have, and I'm
It's like
so,
a tag phrase that you have.
And I truly am upset if it offended him.
Yeah.
But he was saying it didn't. He was just saying I should hold myself to a higher standard, and I do hold myself to a pretty high standard.
Yeah.
And I thought Brett's joke was funny, and as the only person who I feel like who's allowed to be offended at his joke in the room, I'm not. So.
Right. All right.
But you guys are allowed to be offended at mine.
Right. That's my point with all this. My point is that everyone is allowed to express their opinions. I don't want anyone to change because someone else's opinion, though.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I get what Reilly's saying too.
You were not told, and you never will be told. I told you that when you started this show, to not be you and not to say what you say.
But I get with the publicist. What I will say about this particular guest, and this makes us very lucky because it could have not been this, and we could have had the little child from The Voice coming in. But this guest walked in and said, "I love drama. My life is so easy. Tell me what's going on."
And I told him about it. Yeah, and he said to me, he said, "I'm going to start listening to you guys more," because he liked this vibe of the show.
Which is a very, very lucky thing.
Yeah. Well, and you explained to him the situation. What
Yeah,
happened.
and I said it to him, and he was like, "That's amazing." And maybe it's just because he was talking to me, and he was like, "I like that you say that. I think that's funny."
Well, you said it to him, and then he told me he wanted to start listening to the show.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's not very professional and has not been doing this a long time, never occurred to me guests come like all these things because I'm trying to just live in an organic moment.
You're here.
But now I'm like, oh, maybe I better pay attention.
I don't want that to happen. You are here to do exactly what you do. You are here because you're not. You're not the movie expert. You're not the movie expert. It's like that's not why you're here. You're here to say ridiculous shit when it comes to your mind. That's what you're here to do. And you do it great, and you're here to have real conversations. And you, like Roxy said the other day, you're like those moments of, we'll see those extreme moments, but then we'll hear the really nice thing about you walking across the street and making sure that Roxy had a jacket. Like, that's who you are. And I don't want you to change, like, oh, am I not supposed to say that now? Like, we had that conversation last time that happened on the air, and you didn't speak for like a month. I don't want that shit to happen anymore.
The other thing I will say is that I have no idea what's going on in Macuga's life right now or what's going on with this day, but this happens to me sometimes too, where certain things that don't rub you the wrong way in one moment, like sometimes just end up rubbing you the wrong way. That's happened to all of us when we've been on air before. And I'm sure that he was just upset today, and it won't be like this tomorrow. And he's totally entitled to his opinion.
Of course he is. That's why I'm not mad at him at all.
Yeah.
He cares.
I just don't like
you
the
can
way
see
he
how much he cares about the show.
He doesn't like when we do
brand.
too much fart stuff.
Right.
I know.
And
I just think that he could have phrased it to me better.
Yeah, and that's fine. Look, you can have. Not everybody likes juvenile humor, and not everybody.
And
likes,
it is juvenile. I'm not going to deny that. Of course it is.
But I've made my career on that.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do, and it makes me laugh. And in stupid times, I haven't had a laugh like that since when Brett threw that line out there.
You were crying
because it was your reaction to it as well too. You just rolled with it. If you were offended by it, I'd be like, let's bring it down.
No, I thought it was really
it was
funny.
funny, and then I
and
made
it's
a
hard to
shorter check.
explain why I thought it was funny, but I did. I thought it was funny
because it was a satire joke. He was. I got where he was going with the joke. But anyway, listen. What time is it?
Ghostbuster time.
Game time.
Jesus.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
No, I was.
Who are you gonna
what time
call?
at 11:10. We'll talk about Ghostbusters, and I think I'm gonna end the show early today. So
Great.
No calls? We got to take calls.
I don't know if we can take calls today.
Woof.
Woof. Unbelievable. All right, because this is only the on-air part of this conversation has ended. So.
You know, as the producer of the show, I'm canceling the show on Monday. We're going to take a break.
We're going to take a break.
Let's do it. We're going to take a little bit of a break.
I still have a show that I shoot with Macuga after this.
Well, there you go.
That should be fun.
So, actually, I'll tell you what. I'm glad that you do, because you guys will probably work it out.
We'll go to lunch together like we do every
And then work it
Wednesday,
out.
as long as he's willing to. And yeah,
He
we're
will.
going to be 100% fine.
Of course. That first thing I said to him, he was pissed off, and he's sitting there, and I said, "You want to talk about this?" He's like, "Yeah, let's talk about it." Like he's not that guy. He's not the guy that holds things in. He wants to talk about it. He does.
I'll stuff it down and save it for when my kids are doing something bad.
Right,
and
yell
just-
Take it out on them.
Yeah.
They deserve
That's
it.
what they're there for.
They deserve it. All right, let's move. We will talk about this one particular thing, and we'll move on. Unless there's any other big news besides this one.
Yeah, you know, there's been a bunch of news over the past few days. There it is.
Is Lion King news?
No, they just always play that.
for the news.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the big news is Ghostbuster, but we never talked about the back-to-back Mission Impossibles of Chris McQuarrie is doing that.
Yeah.
The long-range tracking of Captain Marvel. There's a lot of news out there.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but the big thing that broke last night.
We'll talk about that, but the Captain Marvel thing, I think they talked about on Movie Talk yesterday, but projecting at 160?
It's between
in
one.
March?
They're saying 140 plus, and some people are saying 160. Some people 150.
What are you
It's
thinking?
140 is still
80?
a big number.
Yeah.
I thought maybe 80.
What's it against in March?
Nothing, I think. I don't really think it's got a lot of competition, but still. I mean, Reilly said it. He's like, look, it's
Infinity War, man.
Yeah, it's Infinity War leading into Endgame. That's what's bringing people in. That's the notice. But like, I just have. I like the third trailer. I haven't loved all the trailers yet. So I'm going to see it, obviously, but I don't know if it didn't make my anticipated list. But $140 million opening weekend. That's big.
It's, I mean, massive.
You think it's gonna hit?
Compared to other films that
What's the large?
I don't know
okay, so
any other thing that's made 140 that doesn't have multiple characters in it.
Medea will actually do really well, and that comes out on March 1st. But then Captain Marvel will take that weekend against then Wonder Park. I'm just going over big wide
What's
releases
Wonder
here.
Park?
I don't know which one that is. Which one's Wonder Park, boys?
Oh, it's an animated movie.
Oh, okay. So no, that's not going to touch it. 5 Feet Apart, Greyhound the Informer. What's that? Oh, Us. Us has
Us could give it a run,
Us
but I
could
still
take-
think Captain Marvel
Yes.
will still by then be still number one, and Us will be pretty close
5
up there.
Feet Apart,
Dumbo on March 29th. How
that's
cute
Dumbo.
was Dumbo in the poster?
Dumbo looks good in the poster. I'm not loving the trailers.
Really? Oh, I love the trailer.
I'm not loving you.
No, I'm sorry. It looks too much like a Tim Burton movie, and I don't know if I get a
That's not
Dumbo
true.
movie.
I
That's what I'm
think
worried
I
about.
think it looks so
That's what I like.
cute, but we've already seen the Dumbo movie.
We have the animated version.
Yeah.
I know, but
We
not,
have?
but not the Tom. Who's Tom? Not the Tim Burton version.
brother.
Just Tom Burton.
There's many
Tom
Toms
Burton.
out there. Tom Finstock.
Tom Finstock.
Tom Finstock version of
Bobby
Dumbo.
F. Bobby F. Tom Finstock. Have we ever? Thank you.
Dagnino,
So
yeah.
she's gonna own March. There's no doubt about it. It's just that's a big weekend. That's a big weekend. I don't know.
I think that they're over projecting it.
Yeah, what's
But
the
what the hell do I know?
I don't know. What's the highest March opening of all time? Is it 300?
Oh, 300. That's a good call.
Who would that be?
Hunger Games did like 150.
Oh, Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Hunger Games. Good
But,
call, Cody.
Someone might have beat it after that. Oh, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
That what?
That's not. It's not touching. It was almost 200 million, right? It's not. Beauty and the Beast was 174.
Wow.
It's not touching. Yeah. Okay. So and then Batman v Superman. It's not getting near there. Well, maybe if it comes, it could come in third or fourth. It could beat Hunger Games at 152 if it goes.
Why
to
is
projection.
Beauty and the Beast on there twice?
I said the real Beauty and the Beast. Oh yeah, where is it? It's the same.
It's the same 2017.
That's weird.
I don't know what that is. Yeah. Is that a mess up? I don't understand.
Fix your site.
Anyway.
Bro.
All right, let's get into this Ghostbusters thing, and we'll get the hell out of here for today. So, Reilly came right. We were looking for. We didn't really know what we were going to talk about for the main topic. Yeah. And we said, like, well, what do we want our main topic to be tomorrow? And I figured we were messing around with it first, but then he comes running in, and he goes, Ghostbusters. And I go, another reboot? He's like, a direct sequel to the '89 version by Jason Reitman.
Yeah.
And I was like,
They're calling it a direct sequel?
It's a direct
I
sequel.
didn't hear that part.
Yeah, direct
sequel. So
Wow.
that's big news.
And it was a surprise. They're supposed to be hush hush, and then there was that little teaser that was released.
they shot a
they
teaser
shot
as
a
well.
teaser?
Yeah.
How's the teaser? Who's in it? Is it
Nobody.
It's like in a shed in the middle of. It looks like the
van.
Yeah.
There's a van.
Down
There's
by the
there's a
river?
shed, and then you hear the
Down
the
by the
sound
river?
effects. Hear the sound effects. You hear Elmer Bernstein's score. It's great,
Oh,
and
cool.
then. The proton pack lights up, and 2020 we're getting this.
Summer.
Oh, that's cool. That's shoot, man.
And
good.
so it's going to be
Jason Reitman, keeping it
teens-
in the family. I like it.
Teens.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be younger kids in this. We don't know, male, female. They're
mix it
speculating.
up.
Yeah,
Mix it up.
They're going to mix it up.
That's
I'm
what
sure.
we're hoping we're going to get. Mix
and
it
they're
up.
calling it passing the torch. So what I believe will happen, they're going to make a big push for Murray. Aykroyd's going to show up for
They
sure.
Probably give a lot of love to Harold Ramis.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Aykroyd, I bet will
Ernie
be.
Hudson will be in it.
Yeah, I bet he'll be like a mentor kind of thing that helps. It's like it looks like some kids find the materials.
Okay, cool. I like that. I mean, it's kind of mixing Stranger Things meets Ghostbusters.
Exactly. I think that's what they're going for.
Smart.
And you have Reitman, Jason Reitman, who's
Taking
a
over-
phenomenal filmaker in his own right.
And I'll bet you he had a couple conversations with his dad.
Yeah.
Would say, do
Yeah.
it this way. And that's great. I mean, because remember every single time we had Ivan Reitman on the Schmoes probably a few years ago, and we asked him about it. And at the time, he's like, no, nothing's really going on. But he's had steady conversations,
course.
many conversations, and I know that he was even working, I think, with Schnepp at one point to do like
Really?
animation
Animated
for
one.
a long time. Schnepp was supposed to be doing some animated. I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not, but
But you did.
yeah, but it's just I think he talked about it. But anyway, it was it's cool that it's in a family.
That's really cool.
I'd like to see
I'm
Catherine Reitman show up
dreamcasting.
again.
Oh yeah, I'm dreamcasting the teens right now in my head, thinking about like the Haley Steinfelds of the world
Yeah.
that are going to pop up in
Haley
this.
Steinfeld,
or-
Finn Wolfhard.
What about
Yeah.
what about that? Or even go a little. It's going to go teens, but I mean he still played teen. Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely
Yeah.
can play teen.
Yeah.
That kid looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
And he needs the work.
That's,
Well, he'll be
very
shooting.
true.
He'll be
What's
shooting
the-
Dune,
What's
so
the name
he'll
of the
be
guy
out of
who's
that.
in literally everything right now?
Timothy
Ben is
Chalamet.
back. No, the redhead.
Lucas Hedges.
Lucas Hedges.
Yeah,
Jacob Tremblay maybe will probably be in this.
Yeah.
he's too little. He's too.
Yeah, they're
depends
saying
how
that there's
teen.
like young teen.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to be
I don't
careful
know.
with
Kind
that.
of a
though.
All
Goonies
those-
crew.
All those Stranger Things kids, yeah.
All the
you're-
Stranger
But
Things.
Goonies were like 14 to 17.
Yeah.
What if Stranger Things
Things
season 3 ends with them finding the proton packs?
Well, that'd be.
He sets it up, and then
It's
What if
80s.
11
Kidding,
plays
that's not gonna
11?
It's the
happen.
80s. It wouldn't work.
It is the 80s.
Wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's why.
There's no spaceships in Masters of the Universe. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you get that
I
tweet?
saw that. Yeah, I was like,
It's a nice. I mean, I'm not
he
shitting
was
on the guy.
nice
The guy,
enough.
guy was
but
nice. He was.
He,
but
he
was just
definitely
like,
is standing by his
But he's not
opinion.
understand what we're talking about. It's like
Some-
the tech.
And he did not
Somebody-
offer you $100 for the nudies, so
No.
you got to throw that in as the
We
bonus.
don't. Guys don't get.
Oh yeah, and the guy that said we were boring in the comments yesterday.
I
What do
saw-
you think about us today? How boring was that?
I saw that Brett said. Brett, see, this is. Please don't stop being you. I get a text yesterday from Brett, and he goes, "Oh well." And I look at this comment that he circled, and it's some guy in the comment section and said, "You guys are boring." And then Brett goes, "At least we tried."
Time to shut it down.
Shut it
Well,
down.
I think this might be the last show that we ever do.
Don't say that. But definitely taking Monday off is a good idea.
Oh
But
yeah, no,
it's true.
Because of this, we're taking Monday.
We'll be back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right. Gonna wrap up the studio
I am
here.
dreading this. Oh my God.
Everybody, thank you for joining us on Collider Live. I hope you had a fun time. Thank you to our guest Tom Everett Scott for joining us. Thank you for all of you, and can't wait to read those comments. Woo.